Mauricio Umansky and Kyle Richards, once the picture-perfect Beverly Hills couple. For more than 2 decades, their love story inspired fans around the world. They laughed together, raised beautiful daughters, built businesses, and seemed to have it all. But now, things have changed. Today, their marriage faces one of its hardest chapters yet. One that has left fans heartbroken, friends concerned, and everyone wondering what really happened to Mauricio and Kyle. Sources close to the family say that what began as small misunderstandings slowly turned into months of emotional distance. Between Mauricio's thriving real estate empire and Kyle's growing list of TV and film projects, time together became rare. They started living parallel lives, connected by family, yet separated by the weight of fame and expectation. Still, those who know them insist there's no lack of love, just two people who lost their rhythm somewhere between the cameras, careers, and constant public scrutiny. For years, fans saw Mauricio as the devoted husband, the man who stood by Kyle through every storm. And Kyle, always the heart of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, was the grounding force that kept their world spinning. Together, they built a family defined by loyalty and love. But behind the glitz of Beverly Hills and the luxury of million-dollar homes, there's a truth money can't hide, that even the strongest relationships can face unimaginable strain. Insiders say that the cracks began showing during Mauricio's busiest professional year. Between buying Beverly Hills and his work with the agency, his schedule grew relentless. Kyle, meanwhile, was rediscovering herself, exploring new friendships, new passions, and new boundaries. At first, the distance was subtle, quiet nights apart, missed dinners, separate vacations. But then, the public began to notice. Photos surfaced, rumors grew, and soon, whispers of separation echoed through social media like wildfire. Still, both Kyle and Mauricio handled it with dignity. In interviews, they spoke calmly, never attacking each other, only acknowledging that marriage, especially one lived in the public eye, can be complicated. And yet, even in the silence between them, something beautiful remained: respect. Those close to the family say their daughters, Farah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia, have been their greatest strength through it all. Kyle has often said her children are her heart, and Mauricio, despite his busy life, has always been a present and loving father. Friends described recent family gatherings as bittersweet, full of laughter, but also the quiet awareness that things are changing. Still, no matter what happens between Mauricio and Kyle, their bond as co-parents remains unbreakable. Insert emotional montage of family moments, vacations, birthdays, old RHOBH clips. Narrator. Kyle recently shared a reflective post on social media, a photo of a sunset with the caption, "Growth means allowing life to shift, even when it's painful." Fans flooded the comments with messages of support, calling her strength inspiring and her grace unmatched. Meanwhile, Mauricio has continued to speak fondly of Kyle in interviews, describing her as the most incredible woman, and saying that, no matter what happens, she'll always be family. Act 4. The Hope That Remains. Music softens into a hopeful piano melody. Narrator. Behind the scenes, friends say both are taking time to reflect. They're focusing on personal growth, healing, and understanding what comes next. Some say the space has even allowed them to reconnect on a deeper level, not as husband and wife, but as friends who still care deeply for each other. Kyle has been pouring herself into her work, filming, producing, and spending time with her daughters. Mauricio, ever the optimist, continues to focus on his business while maintaining his signature positivity. But make no mistake, there are still moments that remind fans of their unbreakable bond. A quiet dinner spotted in Los Angeles, a supportive comment on social media, a shared laugh at a family event. Could this be the beginning of a new chapter, not an ending, but a transformation? Act 5. The World Reacts. soft orchestral underscore builds. Narrator. Across the Bravo community, fans and fellow castmates have shared heartfelt words. Some express sadness, others admiration for how gracefully the couple has handled their challenges. Andy Cohen himself even commented during an interview, saying, "They're both incredible people. No matter what happens, there's so much love there, you can feel it." Social media has been flooded with messages like, "Stay strong, Kyle." "Mauricio, you're a class act." "Love doesn't always end. Sometimes it just changes shape." These aren't just comments, they're reflections of how deeply this couple's story has touched people. Maybe that's the real story here, not of loss, but of evolution. Two people who built a life, raised a family, and shared decades of memories, now learning to honor that history in a new way. Because love, even when tested, doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it transforms into friendship, gratitude, and the quiet respect that comes from truly knowing someone's soul. So as the world watches, Kyle Richards and Mauricio Umansky continue to move forward, with grace, with courage, and with the kind of love that never really fades. Months have passed since the world first learned that Mauricio and Kyle were going through a rough patch. And while headlines continue to speculate, the truth, as always, is far more complicated and far more human. Behind closed doors, both have been taking time to understand themselves outside of their marriage. And in that process, they've each rediscovered parts of who they used to be before fame and fortune took over. Kyle, once the shy child star of Hollywood, has stepped into her power. She's producing new projects, reconnecting with old friends, and learning what it truly means to stand on her own. She's also been focusing on her health and her emotional wellness, something friends say has given her a new glow, both inside and out. Montage. Kyle hiking, working on set, smiling at a family dinner with her daughters. Narrator. Those close to Kyle say that while this chapter has been painful, it has also been freeing. She's learning to release control, to let life unfold naturally without forcing answers. One source described it perfectly. Kyle isn't chasing perfection anymore, she's chasing peace. Mauricio's journey of reflection. Scene transitions to a sunrise over Los Angeles. Mauricio walks along the beach, waves crashing softly in the background. Narrator. Mauricio, too, has been on his own journey. Known for his charisma, drive, and unwavering positivity, he's now channeling that same energy inward. Friends say he's been taking time for quiet reflection, spending early mornings running along the ocean, and evenings with close friends who keep him grounded. Professionally, the agency continues to thrive, with new offices opening across the world. But for Mauricio, success means something different these days. Family first, he said it in recent interviews, a phrase that holds new weight now. Despite everything, he still speaks of Kyle with warmth and respect. During a recent podcast appearance, when asked about her, he paused for a moment before replying. "Kyle's an incredible woman. We've built a beautiful life together. That doesn't just disappear because of change." That quote quickly went viral, not because of drama, but because of the sincerity behind it. Fans praised his maturity, calling it one of the most honest responses from any reality star in years. The reunion that shook Beverly Hills. Cue dramatic RHOBH-style transition music. Narrator. Then came the moment fans had been waiting for, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion taping. It was emotional, raw, and, as always, filled with tears, laughter, and truth. Insiders who attended the filming described Kyle as poised yet vulnerable. She spoke about her year of transformation, the lessons learned, and the pain of watching her private life become public discussion. When asked about Mauricio, she reportedly took a deep breath before saying, "No matter what's happened, I'll always love him. He's the father of my children. We've shared so much, and I'll never regret any of it." Those words silenced the room. Even castmates who had once clashed with Kyle were visibly moved. It was one of those rare television moments where reality TV dropped its mask and humanity took center stage. Later, when the footage aired, social media exploded. Fans called it Kyle's realest moment yet. A private dinner sparks new rumors. Soft background chatter fades in, a restaurant setting, flickering candlelight. Narrator. Just weeks later, paparazzi photos captured Kyle and Mauricio having dinner together in Los Angeles. There were no cameras, no co-stars, no production crew, just the two of them, talking quietly over pasta and wine. Witnesses said they looked relaxed, even laughing at moments, and that the conversation seemed heartfelt rather than tense. Of course, speculation spread instantly. Were they reconciling? Was this a goodbye dinner? Or something in between? But those close to the couple say it wasn't about labels or explanations. It was about connection, about remembering that before the headlines, there was friendship and a deep love that still lingers. Family above all. Kyle with her daughters at home, Mauricio at a family event, Portia smiling for a photo.